Bonjour. All right, we're going to do another exciting lesson of grammar. Today we're going to talk about direct object pronouns, and we're going to review commands, and then we're going to put direct object pronouns into our commands. And that will be our exciting lesson for the day. All right, let's get started. First things first, let's think about direct object pronouns. So, are you going out with Mark? Yes, I like him. Now, obviously, him in this situation is Mark, and this way I don't have to repeat that I like Mark. He must be a nice guy. So, basically, this is exactly what we're doing today. We're replacing our proper nouns with our pronouns. Est-ce que tu sors avec Marc? Oui, je l'aime bien. The same exact thing. You'll notice as we move through, the placement is different and we need new words to accomplish this task. So first things first, let's get our words. Me. Me is me. So me in terms of he's with me. Il est avec moi, right? You would say moi, which is me, or you would say me if you're using it as a direct object pronoun in a sentence. For example, il me regarde. He looks at me. Me. Te. You. Right? This goes along with you in the sense that je te regarde. I'm looking at you. Te. Le and la replace him and her respectively. Nous, we, us. It's both. Very convenient for us. Vous is y'all or you formal in much the same way that it is in a subject role, so that's very convenient for us. And there is les, which is them. So let's talk about the placement. Where is that going to end up going? We've got these sweet new words. Me, te, le, la, nous, vous, les. Going to put them into our phrases now. First things first. So in English, we would say, I love you. But in French, instead, you do noun, then the direct object, and then the verb. For example, I, you, love. In French, this comes out much, much prettier. Je t'aime. Now, you'll notice as well that I have an apostrophe. Now, on the previous slide, I showed you te, te. Whenever there is a vowel in the verb that follows it, though, it automatically loses that and becomes a T apostrophe. And it all smushes together, as French likes to do. Let's go through some more examples. Tu regardes la mission Dancing with the Stars? Oui, je la regarde. So, do you watch this TV show? Yes, I watch it. You'll notice that it had to continue matching in gender and in number, and that it went before the verb. La. Nous laissons un pourboire ici, n'est-ce pas? Oui, il faut le laisser aux États-Unis. So we're leaving a tip here, right? Yes, it's necessary to leave it in the United States. Now you'll notice here that it doesn't go in front of the conjugated verb or the changed verb for this phrase. Instead, it goes before the infinitive. This is a really common way of talking about direct object pronouns, is that they end up in front of the infinitive instead of in front of the main verb of the sentence. So this is how that would happen. All right, I have more examples. Est-ce que tu as perdu les livres? Oui, je les ai perdus. Oh no, what books did I lose? No good. So you'll notice here that les livres is again replaced with the correct number, right? So gender isn't as important with the them, just like in English, but you still have to indicate that there are multiple books. So je les ai perdus. And you'll notice I added an S to perdu. That is to make the past participle agree with the direct object. This is required for both être and avoir verbs. This is the only time that the past participle will change with an avoir passé composé verb. Now, to negate this all, you leave the les and et together and you took the ne pas around them together. But the past participle doesn't get inside the hug. It has to hang out on the outside by itself. Non, je ne les ai pas perdus. So I'm going to read each piece and think through the way that each sounds. Est-ce que tu as perdu les livres? Oui, je les ai perdus. Non, je ne les ai pas perdus. The more you hear this, the more it will start to click for you, and the easier it will be to make these decisions on an exam or as you're speaking. So just listen to the sounds that makes whenever you push those together, because it'll be a really typical rhythm and pattern for people when they are using direct object pronouns. Non, je ne les ai pas perdus. Non, je ne les ai pas perdus. Oui, je les ai perdus. It'll be very important to continue hearing examples like this as you go forward to incorporate this into your way of speaking. Nous laissons un pourboire ici, n'est-ce pas? Non, il ne faut pas le laisser en France. Now you see this time that the direct object gets left out of the ne pas, and that's because it belongs with the infinitive, which also gets left out of the ne pas. The infinitive is never inside of the ne pas. In fact, if you're using just an infinitive and you're negating the infinitive, the ne pas actually go together in front of the infinitive. So, it's very important as you're doing this to think about it in that way. Non, il ne faut pas le laisser en France. Again, talking through examples like this will help to make this click and help to be the one way that you think about these going together, because to convey the meaning that you desire, these are generally the best structures. All right, so let's remind ourselves about commands, or as it's called in our book and in French grammar, l'impératif. So you use the to, nous, or vous form without the pronoun, except with the to form of er verbs, you have to remove that s, right? So you remember mange versus manger, and of course there's always mangeons. And be careful with avoir and être because they're irregular. To aille, vous ayez, tu sois, and vous soyez. Just to remind you about how these all come together. Next thing's next, remembering what it's like to put that into the negative. So you often order people for what you want to do, but you also often say things you don't want people to do. So for things you don't, ne mange pas les pâtisseries. Oh, somebody doesn't get any pastries? No fair. Ne lisez pas les livres interdits. Don't read forbidden books. I wonder what books they're forbidden, but what's most important is the ne pas. And that doesn't change the verb form or anything like that, but it goes around the verb. Whenever you have a command, you have to be careful because your pronouns that you're replacing, those direct object pronouns that we talked about before, are going to be placed kind of funky in a command. For example, mange les légumes, mange-les. So the direct object gets to follow the verb in this case. Vous lisez les journaux. Lisez-les. Read them. Again, it goes after. Nous entendons la lecture. Entendons-la. Listen to it. And then, of course, there's me, which becomes moi. Regarde-moi. And then, of course, te in the same position would become toi. So putting this all together, what happens if I have both a negative and use a pronoun in a command? Ne me regarde pas. So you'll see that instead of being regarde-moi, which we just saw, which is look at me, ne me regarde pas is don't look at me. And me goes before the verb now, and ne pas hugs the whole thing. Ne le parle pas. So in the case of this one, we don't necessarily have an example of le going after, but that's exactly what would happen in the imperative. The le would go after. Parle would be talk to him. Ne le parle pas is don't talk to him. So it's very important to think about where that direct object pronoun is being placed and where your negation is being placed, because the negation has to go around both parts and the direct object pronoun has to come before the verb in this case. Ne les écrivez pas. Don't write it. Them, I guess. Don't write them, right? Because it's plural. And here you see again, ne pas are on the outside and the direct object pronoun and the verb are on the inside. And they all go together in this way every time. And that is the end of that. I hope that you are having a swell day and don't hesitate to email me with any questions. Thanks so much.